Thank you for taking time to view this important conveyor operation and safety presentation. Before attempting to operate the Cleasby conveyor, turntable, and outriggers, make sure you read the manuals and all safety decals and viewed the safety video. Once you've arrived at the job site and are ready to position your truck for loading roofing material to the rooftop, make sure there are no power lines or electrical wires of any sort in the path or way of the conveyor. Remember, it's against federal and state law to position the conveyor within 20 feet of a power line. Clear the area of any obstacles if possible that would be in the way of the conveyor. Park the truck in the most level position possible for safer operation of the conveyor. Block the truck wheels to avoid any movement or rolling. When the truck is in the desired position for unloading, set up a safety zone around the perimeter of the truck and conveyor. Make sure there is no one standing near or touching the truck or in the safety zone other than the operator before moving the conveyor. Extend the outriggers all the way out to stabilize the truck. Lower the outrigger legs until the truck rises slightly. Do not raise the truck wheels off the ground. The post and conveyor will not function until the outriggers are completely extended and in place. If necessary, use outrigger pads to provide additional stability to the truck and conveyor. Unfasten the safety tie-down strap that is holding the conveyor down to the headboard of the truck. There are 5 controls which operate the conveyor and turntable. They are conveyor rotation, the conveyor lift, post raising and lowering, the conveyor belt power, as well as the conveyor extension. First, raise the conveyor from the headboard of the truck to a 35-degree angle or greater using the conveyor lift controls. Next, lower the post as far as possible to lessen pressure on the post column. Using the conveyor rotation lever, pull the lever out of the control valve and, while holding the lever, rotate the conveyor until it is positioned over the rooftop. Using the post raising and lowering lever, adjust the height of the post to a convenient loading height. With the conveyor support leg dropped and in place, lower the conveyor onto the rooftop. If the conveyor boom is properly supported, which means the support foot is in the down position and resting on the rooftop, the red light will go off and a green light will illuminate, meaning the conveyor is now ready for use. If the red light stays on, the conveyor will not function. The boom tension will need to be decreased by placing more weight on support foot. A momentary belt button has also been installed to allow the user to move the belt in a limited manner. Please beware, the conveyor belt will not function until the support leg is in place. To begin operation, the belt lever on the 5-spool hydraulic valve needs to be in the forward position. You must then push the start button on the wireless remote located on the roof end of the conveyor. The conveyor is now ready to begin loading roofing material to the rooftop. When all material has been loaded onto the rooftop, move the conveyor belt safety on-off control to the off position before leaving the rooftop. To reposition the conveyor onto the truck, first raise the conveyor slightly, slowly rotate and lower the conveyor back onto the headboard cradle. Secure the conveyor down by using the tie-down strap. Check the safety zone to ensure it's clear of all obstructions and people. Raise the outriggers up to their secured and locked position and remove items used to set up the safety zone. Maintenance checklist items for conveyor, turntable, and outriggers. Conveyor checklist. Before using the conveyor, turntable, and outriggers each day, a routine maintenance check is required for safe operation. Review the checklist and perform any required maintenance and safety checks before departing the yard for the job site. The checklist can be found in the safety manual located within the instruction tube on the side of the conveyor. Check to make sure all safety and warning labels are present and legible. Refer to the operations manual located in the instruction tube on the loading end of the conveyor for the proper safety decals and their placement on the conveyor. If safety decals need to be replaced, call Cleasby Conveyors at 800-453-2446 for free replacements. Check the belt for proper tension. Lift up the belt by holding onto a set of cleats in the center of the conveyor. You should only be able to lift the belt 5 to 6 inches above the conveyor frame. To adjust the belt tension, loosen the nuts on the take-up adjuster bolt on both sides of the conveyor located at the loading end of the conveyor, and tighten or loosen the belt by adjusting these nuts. Now make sure you adjust both sides evenly so as to allow the belt to travel straight. Check the belt for any cracks, tears, or holes. Make sure the belt splice is in good condition and holding the belt together properly. If you need to replace the belt, remember to do so only with a non-conductive belt from Cleasby conveyors. Check the safety on-off remote. Ensure fresh batteries are installed before each shift for proper operation. We highly recommend keeping extra AAA batteries with the truck at all times. Check the non-conductive hydraulic lines going into the drive motor and going down the conveyor frame for cuts, leaks, or frays. If you need to replace these hydraulic lines, remember to use only non-conductive hydraulic lines available from Cleasby conveyors. Turntable checklist. Check the 5-spool control valve to ensure each control function is working properly and that the proper handle decals are in place. Check the aluminum bronze wear plugs on the outside of the outer post. And make sure they are adjusted in so as to not allow the inner post to rub against the outer post. Check the cylinder pins on the hydraulic cylinder that raises and lowers the conveyor. Check the saddle pin that connects the conveyor to the turntable post. Make sure the cotter pins are in place and not missing. If one of these pins are allowed to fall out, the conveyor could become detached. Check the velocity fuse located at the bottom of the hydraulic boom cylinder. Make sure it is in place and is in good condition. This stop valve keeps the conveyor from falling if a hydraulic hose breaks or if the hydraulic system loses pressure. Check the restrictor fitting located at the opposite end of the hydraulic line from where the velocity fuse is located. Replace if missing or plugged. This fitting must work together with the velocity fuse valve or the conveyor will stay in the locked position. Check the turntable post for ample grease and lubricants. Make sure there is plenty applied to the inner post. Check the gear bearing located below the turntable base plate for excessive wear or gaps. Replace if necessary. Check the hydraulic oil reservoir by looking at the sight gauge mounted on the side of the reservoir. The reservoir should not be filled more than 75% full. Hydraulic outrigger checklist. Check hydraulic outrigger leg pins for wear or damage. Check hydraulic control valve and handles for their proper function. Check the check valve installed on the outrigger cylinder. Replace if missing. Now, this check valve keeps the outrigger leg from coming down or folding up if the truck loses hydraulic pressure. Thank you for taking time to view this presentation.